Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk just briefly about the two camps issue. And what I mean by that is that I often encounter two camps when it comes to how we approach digital ethics. Camp one says that we do not need to change our approach to ethics just because of cyberspace and digital tools and social media experiences and so on. That if we have a value set that guides our schools or our organization, that should be fine. That good is good, responsible is still responsible, so on and so forth. Camp 2 says not so fast. That cyberspace and the world of digital tools is different enough that it's almost like a multicultural experience. So as we migrate from RL to VR, from real life to virtual reality, we do need to at least adjust our approach to digital ethics and how we conceive value sets and so on, largely because so much of what we do is so different and so invisible to us that we actually need to shine a light on it, shine a very special light on it. Let's take one example. Let's look at theft. Now, back in the day, theft meant taking something when there was only one copy of it. So if I stole your car, I had your car and you didn't. And it was a very kind of social, visible kind of event. You look where your car used to be, it's not there. You talk to your neighbors about it. Hey, where's your car? I don't know. I think someone took it. It's hardly concealed the way that taking something online is now concealed. And the interesting thing about theft version 1.0 is that it feels bad. Or even if you're someone who feels that you're justified in stealing, you have some kind of an emotion that's associated with that. That just doesn't seem to happen when you grab a picture from your friend's website and you put it in an email and send it to somebody. It doesn't feel bad. It doesn't even register. So that's why when I talk to students about using materials online, I call it UOps, using other people's stuff. Because the reality is that to them, it's just sort of the new normal. And it doesn't feel bad when you grab something, probably because there's not just one copy of it. The person's not even going to know that you probably have it. There's an excellent chance that they're probably not going to care if it's a friend or something, as long as you're not doing something untoward with it. And and yet we want them to think about something that doesn't feel bad. I mean, it doesn't even register, but we want them to think about it. It becomes a very complex situation. So we cast that all in a new sort of social media environment that has the expectation of sharing, and it becomes a very difficult issue to sort of unpack and understand ethically. And so wherever you fall on that is entirely up to you. But the point here is that we can't use old concepts of theft to address a situation like this and expect to get anywhere with it. We need to think about it and talk about it very differently. And in this particular case, I want to make a suggestion, and it's a suggestion I make frequently with a lot of digital age issues. Let's not rob our kids of the experience of developing their own perspectives and rules and guidelines when it comes to this stuff. So I suggest that if we really want to empower them with regards to an issue like this, we have them come up with their own citation scheme. I think the citation scheme that we came up with during version 1.0 of media, basically print and books and so on, is basically dead. I'm not sure how you use that to cite everything that goes into a mashup, especially in an area as large as the internet and cyberspace and so on, which is an era of spreadable media, to quote Jenkins, in which Twitter sort of bleeds into YouTube, which bleeds into Facebook, and so on and so forth. So let's turn this over to our students and say, okay, what should we do about this? And it might not just be a new kind of way to cite things. We might start building things into pictures that automatically cite it somehow. There are plenty of ideas to have. We're not having them because we're still trying to use version 1.0 of something for a version 2.0, which is very, very different and sort of defies the restrictions of version 1.0. So there are two camps. One says nothing's new here, we'll just use the value system we have. Camp 2 says no, that's not the case. Things are very different, at least different enough that we need to think about things differently and look at them differently. And I am in Camp 2, and that's why.